Alright, today we're going to practice the dodge and burn tool. We're going to go to File, Open, and we're going to go into our P drive. Photo Demo Examples, Dodge and Burn tool. Click on image 6048 and open that up. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we have our History tool open. How do we know? We go to Window. We've got a little check mark next to History. We're also going to make sure our Navigator is open. How do we know? Because we got a little check mark next to Navigator. So those will show over here. Here's our Navigator. We can zoom out, we can zoom in, we can move this around. It lets us get in close on different objects. We've also got our History open. So anytime we do something we don't like, we can just click on the back button and it will undo what we did. Alright, so we're going to come over here and we're going to duplicate our background layer. We're going to call it Working Image. We're going to say OK. Perfect. See? Look, if I didn't like that, I could just go back to Open and it would get rid of my duplicated layer. But I want my duplicated layer, so I'm going to click on that. So the first thing we're going to be editing on our image is we're going to do a burning. We're going to use our burning tool. So we're going to come over here and we're going to come down 13 tools to our burn tool, which kind of looks like a little hand that's open. We're going to click on that. Alright, so it's right here. And we're going to make sure our exposure is set to 30. You can slide it or you can just type in the numbers, whatever is comfortable for you. We're going to make sure that is 30% exposure. Alright, so we want a fairly large brush because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be darkening the top of the railing, the stone railing. We're going to darken this top. We're going to darken the shield here, and we're going to darken the right of this flag. We want a fairly large brush. Now, there's two ways to enlarge your brush. You can use your bracket key on your keyboard, and all you have to do, or you can slide it here and make it large. Okay? Or you can use your bracket key. See, right now I'm using my bracket key, which is making it bigger. That's the right bracket, or the left bracket will make it smaller. So I want to make this darker, so I'm going to go in with a small brush, smaller than the actual width of my railing. And I'm going to kind of just burn the edge here. Be careful that you don't go beyond it though, okay? And if you make kind of like a line, well, you may want to undo it by going back on the history, okay? So let's look at that. That's before and that's after. That's looking pretty good. Maybe I need to do a little more on the edge here. That's before and after. Now I'm going to come over here and do it. I'm going to just burn this area right here. Oh, I kind of made a line there, and I don't like that, so I'm going to undo it right away. I'm going to use my bracket key to make my brush a little bigger so that I can get more area done quicker. But I have to be careful because I don't want to do it too fast. So again, I can use my bracket key or I can slide it here. I want to make sure I'm on a nice soft brush, and I can slide it back and forth here. Alright, so there's before and there's after. So now I want to zoom in on that shield really close. Ah, way too big of a brush. So I'm going to make my brush a little smaller. Oh, that's probably good. So about 70, 71. I'm going to just darken that shield in a little bit just by clicking. And always left clicking is what I'm doing here. I'm left clicking. If I right click, I'm going to bring this up, and I don't want to do that. So I'm left clicking. Or I'm going to make a smaller brush and work on the shield up here. And make that a little darker on the flag that's hanging down. Alright, so I'm going to zoom out. And we're going to look at this. That is afterwards. Now we're going to look at the before. And after. And before. Alright. Now we're going to go over here and use our dodge tool. So our dodge tool looks like a wand with a handle and 30% exposure. And this time I'm going to lighten the areas at the top of the castle where there's some shadow. I'm going to lighten the gate area, and I'm going to lighten the edge of the stairwell that's along here, along the sides. So let's go ahead and lighten this. I'm just left clicking in here using a smaller brush, about the same size as the area that I'm working in. Okay. Maybe even like a little bit, come down the wall just a tad bit and just kind of lighten that. So there is the before. So right now, look at the dodging you did at the top here, at the top, just up here. Turn it off and turn it on. We see a little more detail now, a little more contrast. I'm going to come over here and lighten this as well, the shadow area in here. I'm doing just maybe 3 or 4 clicks, not very much. 3 or 4 left clicks. I'm going to lighten the side of this wall here just a tad bit, get a little more detail on the side of the wall. So let's look at this area right here in the side of the wall, before and after. Now I'm going to lighten this part right here in the gate, and also this part of the gate, but I want to get in a little closer so I can see what I'm doing better. So I'm going to use my navigator and zoom in, and I'm going to like dodge this area here and dodge this top part. There's the before and there's after. So now I'm going to come over here and dodge the side of the railing, and I'm going to zoom out just a tad and bring my navigator to the right corner here, and I'm going to go in with this fairly small brush, slightly smaller than the area that I'm dodging, and I'm just going to lighten that up a bit. So there's after, there's before, there's after. Now I'm going to come over to this side, and I'm going to dodge this area here. And bring it all the way down to the end of the image. Arrange, consolidate all the tabs. Okay. Now here's before, and here's after. You can see that it's slightly lighter now. After, before, after, and before. So let's zoom out. Control minus, you can do that to zoom out. Or you can bring this down. Let's bring that down like that. Okay, use our little navigator and we can see the whole image. So there's the before, and here is afterwards. We can see that this area has been lightened in here, and this area on the top has been darkened, and the shield's been darkened. So we got before and after. And you're not going to save your work.